didn't, been a long journey, been an interesting spring, and then obviously a short but unique training camp, and we're here. So we're excited to get going, excited about week one, really just focused on trying to do everything we can to get our players and coaches ready to go against the Bears. We know we got a big challenge in front of us. It's a division game. So all of our focus right now is just turning the page into the next portion of what we do, and that's the in-season, and that's games. So from that standpoint, just really excited to get an opportunity to go out and play a football game, which is great. I think, first and foremost, just to appreciate, everyone's hard work from the spring through training camp to get this building up and running. Our organization did a great job of making sure that everybody was safe and, stayed healthy, and that we had the opportunity to just basically be as normal as possible in unnormal times. And I think that we tried to maximize everything that we did, getting done, getting ready to go. But now we got to switch gears and we got to get into game mode. So, it should be exciting. We're looking forward to it. We know Sunday's going to come real fast, and we know it's going to be a big challenge. So here we go with the Bears. What do you got?
All right, Mike O'Hara, start us off.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned you've got a game to play, and I just wonder, Mitchell Trubisky's been named the starter. I wonder if you sort of expected that. And he really, when you think about it, he's had some of his better games in the last couple of seasons against the Detroit Lions. So what does he bring to the picture? What does he kind of thrust does he pose? And once again, were you surprised that that's the way they went?
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously, waiting to see how that competition unfolded. And, Trubisky has done a great job against us. He's obviously a very athletic, mobile quarterback. He gets the ball out extremely fast. I think he's got some great skill players around him. I just think there's so many guys that, cause you issues and cause problems for the defense. Certainly, Robinson and Cohen are great players that he can get the ball to quickly. And I think they've just done a really good job. Coach Nagy's done a great job of getting his team ready to go. In all the situations, both when we played them in Chicago and then certainly on short weeks when we played at Thanksgiving time too. So that's why we know they're a tough team. They've got a great defense. They've got solid guys on special teams that just make plays. They've got two of the best returners in special teams in the league. So it'll be a big challenge, and we know how good of a team they are.
Thanks, Coach.
Mike Rothstein.
Yeah. Hey, Matt, can you walk me through how the Adrian Peterson signing ended up coming about?
I think obviously was a player that was released from his former team, and we always kind of make sure we do our due diligence there, and we took a look at it and talked about our situation, and decided it would be something that we wanted to pursue. We had good contact and communication, and from there it just kind of worked out, and we're fortunate to bring him on board. So it's early. I have a lot of respect for Adrian Peterson. I've played against him for a long time. And, he's just a phenomenal player. Obviously, Bev's got a connection with him back in the days in Minnesota. And, we're just excited about it. But we got a long way to go. He just got here. He's got a lot to learn. And I know he's going to do everything possible to put everything into it. And we'll just take it from there.
What are you hoping to get out of him at this point in his career at age 35?
I think it's, nothing more than what we expect out of everybody. Go out there, compete, work hard, and try to do everything you can to contribute to the team and help the team win whenever that's ready, whenever that is ready to take place. So, from that standpoint, everybody that we put on the field in positions to go give us a chance to win, that's really what we expect.
You anticipate using him this weekend?
We'll see. It's Monday, and he just got here, so we'll see how everything goes.
Thanks, Matt.
Ken Brown.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
All right. I was looking at some of the other rosters. Even Tampa Bay, I believe it is, has Josh McCown as a COVID quarterback where they're keeping him away from the team and they're paying him to stay. With your quarterbacks and Blau on the practice squad, are you doing anything COVID-wise to prevent anything that happens in case you need one of these guys?
The biggest thing for us right now is, as we start to work through the in-season schedule and kind of figure out what's the best thing to do is stick with our protocols that we have right now and hope that, we're doing everything right like we did through the course of training camp to minimize exposure and minimize contact that everybody's having with each other and keep, guys in safe spaces. Certainly from our standpoint, though, everybody's in the building and they're working from that area and trying to go out and practice and get better. I think that's one thing that we have to do is we have to, use practice to get better. And David certainly, he needs those reps too. And that's, important for us to make sure that we're improving. So we got, David's a young player. He's a young guy. Chase has some veteran experience, which is good. And obviously, Matthew getting ready to go. So that's the way we're going to approach it for now.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Jennifer. Jen, I think you're still muted.
The most about this group, Coach, and what you think you've improved on from last year of how this team is made up?
Yeah, can you repeat that? I missed the beginning of it. The sound didn't come through.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't know. For when I have my earbuds in, for some reason my mic doesn't work. I'm curious to know what you like the most about this team this year going forward, and where you think you've improved the most from last year, and where you wanted to improve.
Yeah. I think one of the things about this team that's, been great so far, and obviously we'll find out as we get into the regular season, but I just love the way these guys come to work every day. I love, how competitive they are, how much they just want to win, how they push each other and how they care for each other. I mean, it's a great environment to coach in. I think it's a great environment to be a teammate in, and for all of us just coming into work every single day, trying to win, trying to improve, trying to get better. We know we got a long road in front of us, and we'll see how everything goes here, and certainly trying to manage some changes to what everything looks like here in the regular season. But from that standpoint, just guys want to do well. They want to try to do everything they can to help the team, and that's great.
In the current social climate, a quick follow-up. I know a lot of people have put an additional emphasis on how this team has come together. Do you think that's something that can really help propel a team, the trust and the caring in the room before you even hit the field, in your experience?
Yeah, I think there's always a part of all teams, whether it's in the season or before the season, that, they have those moments where they can pull together, they can come together, they kind of, just become moving in the same direction, and that's important. Now, obviously, execution and everything that we do on the field is the bottom line, but I think certainly it does help when guys really feel that way about each other, and they want to make each other better, and they're not afraid to go out there and push each other. I think that's the big part of it. And, if everyone can just get 1% better every day, then as a group, we'll move, light years ahead. And certainly in order to do that, there's a lot of respect and a lot of trust and a lot of, just appreciation for each other that has to take place. And that's something that we've had so far. We'll see how it goes in the season. Things change, but from that standpoint, just really pleased where everybody's at right now with that.
Okay, we'll go three more. Justin, Stats, then Dave.
Got about 14 questions, Matt, but I'll limit it to 2 out of respect for your time. We always hear in the preseason, like, teams show vanilla packages, and you don't really get a lot from studying preseason games. So how different is this week's of preparation going to be for the Bears versus what maybe, normal prep for week 1 is going to be like for your team?
Yeah. I think it's a great question, because even though I think in preseason teams tend to go a little bit vanilla or a little bit kind of basic with some of the stuff that they do, there are those pictures, those glimpses of what you think they're going to do, whether it's preseason game number 3 or just the personnel in general. A lot of it, I think, for us is just evaluating the players that we can during those preseason games and seeing where their skill sets are, and maybe the changes that those guys have made during the offseason. That is something that we do not have, and certainly with the uncertainty of what the last offseason was, it'll be a big challenge for us to walk out there and to be able to see their guys live in person for the first time will be interesting. And then certainly scheme-wise, if there was anything that changed, not that we might have seen it through a preseason game, but I think sometimes you can get a better feel for maybe the direction that an offense, a defense, or a special teams is headed, at least through those games. So it'll be completely different.
And I wanted to dip back to Adrian for a second. I know you don't like putting individual players on pedestals, but I don't think there's any denying the greatness he's achieved through his NFL career. I just wondered what you get out of it as a coach, coaching players that have achieved like such greatness, guys like Brady, obviously in New England. And, do you get anything out of it as a coach? Do you learn anything from those experiences?
Yeah, absolutely. All the great players that I've been around have just, made me a better coach. I learn more from them probably than they learn from me. So, those are exciting exciting times and exciting situations to be in. You know, as a young linebacker coach, you know, my room was full of great players, and it challenged me to make sure that I really knew my stuff, and that I was able to go in there every single day and teach and coach and just honestly pick their brains and learn from them and see or try to understand what they see out on the field. And that's it's a tremendous opportunity for a coach to be able to be around someone like that to really expand the way that you see the game through their eyes.
Thank you, Matt.
Yep.
Stats.
How you doing, Coach?
Great. How are you doing?
Good. On Adrian Peterson, I'm just wondering. Obviously, his body of work speaks for itself, but his familiarity with Coach Bevel and with Coach Fraley, how did that factor into bringing him here, and also how would that serve as an advantage in the best way to use him here in Detroit?
Yeah, you know, I think that was a great part of just a, you know, kind of a perfect storm of combination of things to get him here. You know, I think that being so familiar with Bev's offense and obviously being very productive in that offense. I think he had a game with, was it 261 yards? I mean, it was ridiculous, right? So that's always a good draw when you have that sort of production in a particular offensive scheme. And certainly I think being familiar with the type of offense that we run, for him to be able to come in without a training camp and step right in and hopefully try to contribute is I think a big factor that gave us a little bit of an advantage.
And also, how does a veteran like that help boost the running back room and the locker room overall, having a guy with his pedigree come into the Lions locker room?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always great, especially for young players, to see vets that have been in the league for a long time, especially, you know, great players that have been in the league a long time, and try to see how they approach game week, how they approach the preparation, how they practice, and then, you know, how they perform. I think that that's certainly a big part of younger players developing and becoming professional at this level, you know, especially right out of college. So I think it plays a big part of it. And like kind of, maybe I was mentioning before to Justin, you know, I went through this with young linebackers back in the day that got a chance to sit next to, you know, Teddy Bruschi and Junior Seau and Mike Vrabel and Willie McGinnis and Roosevelt Colvin and Dalius Thomas, Chad Brown, you know, Larry Izzo. Just being in a room with those guys, you learn a lot. And I think it's great for young guys to sit there and maybe just watch, you know, and just observe and see what it looks like, you know, to be in the league as long as he's been in the league. Adrian's been in the league with the success that he's had. That's a tremendous opportunity for a young player to see.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Last one, Dave.
Hey, Matt, just one thing, staying with the Adrian Peterson running back theme sort of here. How much did the health of your running backs play into that signing? And can we just get an update on where things stand with Carrion and Swift? I know he was back last week, but just, you know, how they're feeling, what they're doing now.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I think, you know, really with Adrian Peterson, it was kind of independent of everything else that was going on. Just having an opportunity to just even talk to him on the phone, you know, was great as we pushed, and then figured out that it would be something that we wanted to pursue, and there was mutual interest. So it's kind of an independent, I would say, situation. And excuse me, as far as the, you know, the injury situation, really probably good right there. I think we'll wait till Wednesday and do the injury report right there. If you guys got any info on Chicago, though, that you want to send my way, if Nagy's giving anything away, you can let me know there too. So I think I'll just wait.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back with the players later.
Okay. Thanks.
Coach.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Anna.
Thanks, Coach.
Bye-bye.
You. It's really good to be talking to you today. You know, back when this happened in March, did you think we would get to this point, week one, regular season? And just what was it like today to turn the focus to an opponent and getting ready to play a game?
I think I was with everybody and not knowing what was next. When all this went down in March, I was just trying to figure out what I was going to do with my kids for the next couple of days to keep them busy. But like you said, I'm excited to be putting the pads on and going to play somebody else. Obviously, missing the last half of last year was tough for me. So I'm excited to get back out there with my teammates, go out there and compete against somebody else.
Justin?
Yeah, Matthew, I kind of asked your coach this as well, but what is the difference preparing for an opponent when you don't have the benefit of preseason or kind of seeing any of their personnel groupings or anything like that versus, you know, normal year?
There might be a little bit more guesswork involved as far as, like you said, personnel groupings and things like that. But, you know, most teams are pretty guarded in the preseason anyways and what they're trying to do and what they're trying to show their opponent. So there might be a little bit more unknown, but at the same time, we got to go out there and play. We got to stick to what we do. They're going to stick to what they do. Go out there and try and make some plays and see who can come out on top.
Given the shortened off season in general, do you spend a lot of time looking at their film last year, just looking at the schematics from that standpoint?
It's the most recent stuff to go on. So yeah, I mean, I think they're bringing back coordinators for the most part and players in a lot of areas. So there's a decent amount of tape out there on that, and I'm sure they'll have a new wrinkle, as will we, going into it. But at the same time, it's got to go out there and play ball and execute at a high level.
Dave?
Hey, Matthew, still trying to figure out how to keep the kids occupied over here, so I feel you on that one. When you get a guy like Adrian Peterson added to the team, just personally, what sort of excitement, do you feel when you get a legend like that comes in here, and how do you think he might be able to help the offense this fall?
Glad to see him in our uniform. Saw him too many years in the purple and gold, and he was doing his thing against us. So nice to have him. Obviously, a really talented player, one of the greats at the position. I think he raises the bar for a lot of people just to go out there and watch the way this guy works at the age that he is and what he's already accomplished. Pretty impressive. We're excited to have him. Anytime you add talented guys to your team, it's going to help us, give us a better chance to win games. I know he's excited to be here, and we're excited to have him.
And the other thing I wanted to ask you, Nate Burleson said on his morning show the other day that you texted him and told him you were going for MVP this year, not just as a dark horse candidate, as some people have said. Can you share the backstory of that text and why? Beyond that, why do you feel so good about just the season that you're personally about to embark on?
Oh, I'm not going to share the backstory. What I text Nate, I guess is for y'all a little bit, but not all of it. But Nate's a great buddy of mine. Love watching him do his thing. Always good to talk to him. But I'm just excited to go play. I know I have a bunch of talented playmakers around me. Some guys that if I can just get the ball in their hands, they can do some pretty incredible stuff. So. It's on us as an offense, man. We got to go out there and operate. We got to operate as 11 guys working together. And just because we had success last year doesn't mean we're going to have success again this year. We got to go out there and prove it every day.
Regardless of that text, do you feel that award is within your reach?
Listen, I just go out there, play, try to win games, try to help my team win games, whatever I can do to help them win. I'm going to try and do that.
Thanks.
Mike?
Yeah. Hey, Matthew, I kind of want to follow back up on the Adrian Peterson stuff. It hasn't happened yet, but more than likely on Sunday at some point, you'll be in a huddle with Adrian Peterson. Do you allow yourself to think at all like, wow, my career, I've been in the huddle with Calvin Johnson and Adrian Peterson at some point?
I'll probably think about that when I'm done playing. At the moment, I'm just, going to enjoy watching him run it when he gets it. He's a talented player. I've been doing it for a long time. And like I said earlier, just excited that he's in our uniform. Watched him run from the opposite sideline too many times. Obviously appreciate his game and the way he goes about his business. And I think everybody on our team is just excited to have him in here.
Where do you think he might fit into this running back room and into what you guys are trying to do?
I think it's kind of yet to be seen. We're just going to go out there and I'm sure a lot of guys will get a lot of touches. We've got a lot of talented players in that backfield. This is an unknown season, an unknown off season. Obviously Adrian's time here is going to be very limited before we play a game. So, there's a lot of things that go into that. I think we're just excited to have talent, to have a bunch of talent in that room. And that's a fun thing as a quarterback and as an offense.
Appreciate it, man.
Wojo, last one.
Hey, Matthew, I know you're motivated and hungry every year as the season starts, but the way last year ended, you were having a great year, then the back injury, finished 3-12-1. Is there a little something extra this year for you and for this team because of how last year ended?
I think we're motivated just because we have the opportunity. We know what's in front of us. No question, last year stung. It stung for me to not be out there. It stung for our team to have it go the way it went. But this is a new year, a new group of guys in this locker room. We're excited about it. But we got to go out there and prove it. We can sit here and talk about it all we want. We got to go out there, earn it every day in practice, and then show up on Sundays and play better football. So, the intensity level, the urgency is high as it always is. And we're excited about, being able to go play somebody different. And training camp's over. It's week 1 time.
Just a quick follow-up. Do you feel like you still have all the pieces in place to pick up where this offense was last year for those first 8 games?
We have a lot of the same, guys. But like I said earlier, that doesn't guarantee you anything. It just guarantees you the opportunity to go out there and play. I think a level was set last year. We got to maintain that level and hopefully exceed it. And that's on myself and everybody in the unit to go out there and play at a high level and make sure that we achieve the goals we want on offense and help our team win.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
guys.
Matthew.
Entered the league, and I remember, I mean, AD all day, baby. I remember him running for 296 versus the Chargers. It's, I mean, wild, just wild. I can't even describe it. My family's freaking out. All my friends back home are freaking out. It's pretty cool.
How did you settle on introducing yourself?
Hey, I'm Frank. You know, I just kept it cool.
Thanks, Frank.
Hey, I'm Frank. I'm from Minnesota, and oh my gosh, but I try to keep it cool.
Did you have a note card for him? One of your little note cards with all the factoid information?
Get him to sign it. I was trying to get my mom to try to find and see if I still, because I'm pretty sure I had his jersey growing up. So I was trying to see if we still had it, see if I could get it signed. But I'm going to try to keep my cool.
Nice. Thanks.
Yep.
Couple more questions, guys. If anyone's got their names in the chat.
Yeah. Hey, Frank. I kind of want to follow on Justin's question in that, I mean, what was the reaction from your family and your friends when, like, was your phone just blowing up yesterday morning, or was it almost like, in some ways, like the attention you got when you got drafted?
I wouldn't say it was to that extent. I wouldn't say my phone blew up. I think my family definitely, they were freaking out the most, and I had a couple buddies texting me about it. I think I might have been more active. Like, I texted a couple of my group messages with my friends, and I was just like, I'm going to be blocking for Adrian Peterson, and it's just wild.
Appreciate it.
Well, Joe.
Hey, Frank, when last season ended, obviously 3-12-1, but the offense for the first 8 weeks was pretty darn good. Do you see signs, you have reason to believe that you guys can pick up where that offense left off after 8 games?
Yeah, you know, it's a good group. We have a lot of familiarity returning. Obviously, with Matthew Stafford on your offense, it's pretty exciting. But, you know, I think the one thing we like about this group the most, at least I like about this group the most, is we're kind of day by day, kind of blue collar, not getting too ahead of ourselves and realizing we have to earn it every day. So that's kind of the answer I'll give you there.
Just a quick follow-up. Stafford seems, I don't know, unusually animated or motivated or hungry or a little bit different, maybe because of how last season ended for him. Do you see that at all?
I'd say he's the same old Stafford. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Anything else, guys?
Yeah, Frank, what's the key to fishing with hot dogs?
You know, you let the hot dog do the work. I appreciate that question. Thank you.
Got you.
Frank, just one thing on the Bears and their defense. I mean, I think we know a lot of the parts. Obviously, Khalil Mack, some of those other guys up front. How do you prepare for them not having recent film? I assume you just go back and watch a lot of last year's stuff, and then they are getting some guys back that maybe weren't there all the time last year on the defensive line. So what sort of challenges that defense as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, very, very, very talented front, very large, lots of large human beings that are very good. I mean, they've been one of the top defenses year in, year out. And then especially you add Akeem Hicks back into the mix, Robert Quinn, a very, very talented front. So I think, trying to watch tape from last year and then kind of just trying to be the best Lions offense we can be too, just focusing on working on ourselves is the best you can do without the preseason cut-ups and whatnot. But yeah, it's we're going to have our work cut out for us. They're a very talented front from every position, really.
All right, we'll go Jeremy. Last question.
Hey, Frank, thanks for your time. Really quickly, obviously, Taylor Decker got that extension last week. Just want to know how you've seen his play grow over the past couple of years, and what does it mean to you to see the Lions, reward such good play?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough about Taylor Decker. Not even as a football player, but as a teammate. He's been a blessing to have in the start of my career, and he works his tail off. He's just a great attitude, just great leader for our offensive line room, and has just a great attitude and really brings it every day, and just a good friend as well. So I mean, we're all tickled pink for the guy. I mean, it's amazing, and it's cool to see how he's translated over his career. Since I've gotten here, it seems like he's been a freaking great player the whole time. So I'm very proud of him, I'm happy for him, and he definitely deserves it.
Do one more, Stacy.
Frank, the margin of loss for you guys last year was very low, and especially early in the season, in these initial weeks, those games could have gone your way. What emphasis have you guys put on finishing through training camp, and how you start this season on Sunday?
Yeah, I think the emphasis there has been a real big emphasis on finishing in general this offseason. I think we've focused it on to even the details, whether it's finishing your reps in the weight room, finishing your reps, finishing an offensive lineman, finishing the play, finishing in the meeting room, like just kind of making it a theme of not only the games and not only just the last drive or the fourth quarter, but literally kind of finishing in the whole process of our lives and everything we do day to day. And that's kind of been the theme for us this offseason, really, is trying to emphasize that we're going to finish everything. I think TJ Hawkinson mentioned earlier was dagger time, and that's kind of what our word is for finishing, and that's what we're really trying to emphasize from play to play, rep to rep, tape to tape. I'm a big dog guy. That's okay. But, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Frank. Thanks,
Hey,
everybody.
Frank, really quick, what's this sweatshirt you got going on?
Grizzly Man Outdoors. Don't show too much. New merch coming soon. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Frank.